Good afternoon, my good friends. Good afternoon. Welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my channel. I am Andre Lefebvre. I am a citizen journalist, extreme libertarian, and I love mouthing off on things political, things cultural, things interesting. Today we have a full live stream for us. We're going to talk about Sunspot Solar Observatory, conspiracy, mystery, unknown. On September 6th of this year, 2018, FBI and possibly with some other unnamed U.S. agencies closed down a New Mexico-based Sunspot Solar Observatory and evacuated homes around it. The lack of official explanation has spurred many different theories, conspiracy theories. They range quite a bit. And I'm going to have some videos, and we're going to do some exploring on the internet. So hang tight and don't change the channel, if you will. Let me tell you a few of the theories that are going around. The ones that I can't say I like, but it goes within my libertarian point of view, is this is a subterfuge, so we can't see the sun. Apparently, according to some of the observers, all the live viewing of the sun on the internet has been shut down, and U.S. government and the globalist elites will use an excuse of a solar flare to create a man-made EMP, magnetic pulse event, to shut down and destroy all the electric power capability on Earth, and move us, the humans, into the pre-industrial age in order to quote-unquote save the planet, while the elites, the tiny number of them, will live in luxury of the 21st century technology. That's one of the theories. Another theory is that there are flare activities, and the government wants to hide the fact that it is dangerous, that it may cause irreparable harm to our civilization. There is another theory that I found, and again, I'm going to play you some videos and we're going to talk about stuff, is that it's Chinese spying. Well, I have looked at some of the government-controlled news and sources, and I looked at some of the independent citizen journalist sources. So let's start with the corporate-controlled news. This is from KVIA ABC7, and let me bring this up. Just give me 1 second here. Let's bring this up, and here we go.
Has been the only local station to travel the 2 hours north to find out why.
Let me start from the beginning. Here we go.
Welcome back to ABC7 at 6. I'm Estela Casas. ABC7 broke the story and has been the only local station to travel the 2 hours north to find out why. Sunspot is just a few miles south of Cloudcroft. But today, ABC7's Kate Berry talked with the NMSU professors who know the observatory better than anyone. She's at NMSU with our New Mexico mobile newsroom.
Professors at New Mexico State University directly oversee the operations of Sunspot. One professor describes the evacuation on the day they shut it down.
It was extremely calm. They locked everything up and they left.
Dr. James McAteer is NMSU's director of the Sunspot Solar Observatory.
When they said they needed to close the site temporarily, I picked up the phone, called our people, asked them to lock up everything and leave quietly and sensibly.
The director told me the university has 4 employees at the observatory, and Aura, the company that manages it, has 5 employees. He said right now they're working remotely. There are also 2 to 3 employees at the post office, which was also evacuated.
Does it concern you at all that the FBI is investigating it?
A little bit, yes, but there's lots of pranks, and so that's probably what it was.
When ABC7's Christina Aguayo visited Cloudcroft on Monday, locals didn't have a clue either.
And I actually have no idea.
There seems to be a lot of talk about this.
Dr. Jason Jackowitz is another associate professor at NMSU. He's in charge of community involvement and data availability at Sunspot.
I was surprised. I was curious about what might be happening. I still don't know, and I hope it can reopen soon because we have projects going on up there, different experiments that we're doing. Public interest in science is always good.
Dr. McAteer told me he's confident the observatory will reopen soon, and he said he welcomes the public's curiosity and invites them to visit once it's open again.
I hope every single person in the state wants to go to Sunspot to visit after this. That would be amazing. Go. It is a public resource. It's open to the public. It's paid for by the public.
Of course, you can continue to follow KBIA for any updates on when and if the observatory will reopen. At New Mexico State University with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Kate Bury, ABC7.
Well, that was the corporate controlled, media take on what's going on. Now, the next clip I'm going to play you is from John X. Army. He has an interesting take on what's going on, and he is a true blue independent journalist, just like myself. Is an interesting, very interesting point of view. So let's bring John X. Army. And by the way, you can go to wildnews.us, my website, and I posted links to all of the references that I'm using. So fair use, John X. Army, a stake on what's going on in the Sunspot Solar Observatory.
If the observatory will reopen. At New Mexico State University with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Kate Bury, ABC7.
There's one reason why we haven't heard anything, and it's national security. So you guys, here it is. Tell me what you think. Chinese were spying on White Sands missile range tests via antenna array at the observatory site. Now,
this is just several clips that I am playing. What John X. Army said before, and I didn't include it in this link because he was very verbose about it, is that it's a third or fourth information. Somebody sent him a screenshot of a e-Reddit post, and this is let me just move it back. This is what the e-Reddit post e-Reddit post said. So it wasn't sent to him. Somebody took a screenshot of e-Reddit post and sent him a message. So let's continue.
Reason why we haven't heard anything, and it's national security. So you guys, here it is. Tell me what you think. Chinese were spying on White Sands missile range tests via antenna array at the observatory site. Now that makes a ton of sense why everything's closed down. Either American spies that were helping the Chinese or Chinese spies in country set up an array of antenna at the Solar Observatory, and they were spying on U.S. weapons tests via the solar array. And this is all the information I have. Like I said, I do not know if this is truth You got to do your own research and you got to figure out what's true. But supposedly the Chinese had set up shop at this sunspot telescope, and who knows what all information they were harvesting via an antenna array. Now, I hope this doesn't get the FBI at my house. So to me, that makes a lot of sense, right? If they would have seen UFOs up at that base, man, something would have leaked already. They would have told the sheriff about it. The sheriff would have been on NBC talking about it. The local kids in the town would be saying that yeah, aliens, they spotted aliens up there from the observatory. And I've been online all day long looking at the locals and seeing what they're saying, and nobody's saying anything. And that's now, as to the theories, this gets scary, right? I'm glad I found this. The theories are about to get scary, and this is why I had to make 2 separate videos, okay? So I've gotten a lot of emails from you guys, and a lot of people are having trouble accessing live views of our sun. If you don't know, there's telescopes around the world where you can watch a live view of the sun, and I did find one today. Let me start by, I went, is this it? nascom.nasa.gov. I tried to open this website to see the live view of the sun from NASA. Look, it's been shut off. I can't get to it. I haven't tried on the PC yet because I just got in the studio and made that first video. It won't load. So I'm going to try it on Google real quick. This is scary. If they've stopped all the live views of the sun, and I got some more information from a subscriber who sent me something we're going to get to next. Well, we'll get to that right now. If they've stopped all the live views of the sun, I do not think it's because they have proof of something about to occur. I think if they stopped all the live views of the sun, it's false flag, right? It's false flag. They're gonna have a major EMP. If they've canceled the live views of the sun and make it hard to see, or if they've replaced them with fake live views, it's because they're about to do some type of EMP attack on the planet, right? That's scary if we can't get the live views of the sun. And the reason is they don't want anybody to know that what they made happen was fake. Are you guys with me? So if millions of people are watching the live views of the sun and a huge EMP goes off and NASA tries to say it was a solar flare, everybody's going to be like, no, we all saw the live view. There was no solar flare. We would have seen it. We were watching the live view of the sun. So if they've really shut off the live view of all the sun, that might be because they don't want anyone to know that they're about to do a false flag EMP.
Anyway, just to let you know, we had a call from Sam.
Okay, so that was John X. Army. And he alluded to one of the conspiracy theories that the globalists want to do a fake EMP event, the electronic magnetic pulse event, to bring everybody except themselves into the pre-industrial age. And so we can't watch the sun, and they can blame it on the solar flare, so they are blameless. It's an interesting conspiracy theory, has a lot of validity. I'm not going to pass judgments on it, but that is what John X. Army just said. So now, let's see if we can go and see the sun real time. Here we go. I am on nasa.gov/mission pages/SDO/the sun now/index-html. So let me refresh the page and let me put it full screen. So near real-time sun, and the stamp at the bottom is 2018 0915 1943 18 UT. Here's another picture. So I don't know if they're real. I have no idea, but at least NASA claims that it exists. Okay. The next video, and it's actually a podcast that I want to play for you, is from Ground Zero with Clyde Lewis. And he had this interview on September 12th with somebody named Sam, who claimed to be in the know of what happened at Sunspot. So, fair use. Let me play that for you. It's about a 4-minute clip. So let's enjoy it.
You remember Sam? He was the guy that gave us the information about the weapons being used against the American diplomats in Cuba. The information about.
Again, this is Clyde Lewis, Ground Zero, his podcast.
How they're being used during the summit in North Korea, or the summit in Singapore with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Chinese, also diplomats at the Chinese embassy were being harmed. He said there was going to be an attack in Helsinki, or on the way to Helsinki, and of course we had a Secret Service agent in Scotland die. He called again and he gave us information about what's going on or what may be going on at this Sunspot Observatory. This is Sam's call. For those of you that missed it, listen very carefully about what he talks about. Some things I've never heard of. Maybe somebody else knows about it. Here we go. Sam?
Sam? Yes.
Sam,
this is Sam.
Okay, Sam.
Sam.
I got an echo. Where are you calling? Are you somewhere? Where we're getting an echo?
I'm somewhere with a little echo, but it's the only private place for me to be right now.
Okay. We're going to deal with the echo because we want to hear what you have to say. So you're calling the program tonight to tell us what you think is going on at Sunspot?
I think I have the answer. There aren't many things in the world I have the answers to, but I believe this is one of them.
Okay, well, just to avoid the echo, I'm going to let you tell everybody what you think is going on at Sunspot.
My firm belief is that the Sunspot facility has been hacked, very probably by Chinese bad actors. The reason they want to hack it is because the NSO, that's the Solar Observatory in Sunspot, is a part of an intranet that also includes HARP, Hammer, and SMAC. Through this network, we've been very successful at manipulating the solar surface and the coronosphere to the point whereby we can actually trigger coronal mass ejections of controlled size, duration, density, and intensity.
Now, how do they trigger them? Are they using the magnetic field? What are they using?
They're using scalar waves. If you remember, I talked about scalar wave transmission before. These are transmitted through HARP. HARP is the high-frequency active auroral research program, which, although officially it was given to the university, it is still funded through a group known as the Office.
The Office.
The Office managed to pump enough money into that facility to expand it in size and capability over 40% in only 2 years following 2013, when it was handed over from the university.
I was reading somewhere that the telescope doesn't even work.
It's not the telescope that needs to work. It's the sensor array. They use the sensory array so that they can carefully monitor the effects and steer the direction of forces from SMAC, Hammer, and HARP.
SMAC, Hammer, and HARP. I've never heard of SMAC or Hammer.
Hammer is the High Altitude Meteorological Manipulation Energy Research Program. SMAC is the Solar Magnetic Amplification and Causative Configurator. These are critical elements in the weather solar control grid.
And so the coronal hole was created by this thing? What's going on?
It was created by a boo-boo, a little miscalculation. Understand, HARP is capable of transmitting signal strengths in excess of 50 gigawatts. They require so much energy, and the energy has to be of such a very high quality that it can only be provided by SMAC.
So you say
SMAC has its own nuclear reactors, and you have to control the quality of the electricity, the exact frequency, and extremely accurate micro values, all the while delivering unheard of wattage.
Okay, I just lost track of what I was going to say. I was going to ask you, you're saying that bad actors hacked the system. Why did they hack the system? And who was involved? And why did they hack the system? And what did they hack into?
Okay, by hacking into the computers at the NSO, they now have access to an intranet. The intranet connects the NSO, HARP, Hammer, and SMAC because they feed upon and require each other. You must have a network because there are so many thousands of gigabytes of information in constant flow to make this work. It's delicate, but take a look at this hurricane coming in off the East Coast. I promise you're in for a big surprise.
A big surprise in what regard?
They won't tell me. My friend is a little tight-lipped. He worked with me in a parallel project for about 15 of my 30 years with DARPA.
So why would the FBI be involved with this?
Well, if we have hacking into the computers by foreign actors, let's just say, for example, the Chinese, if they're getting into the system, that's the FBI's business.
So are you indirectly inferring that it's China? Or are you implying it's China?
When the last name is Wang or Liu, that's entirely possible.
Okay. Is there any truth to the rumor that White Sands may be involved in any way?
In no way that I am aware of. White Sands is in no way connected to the office and to their projects, but remember, their mission is to master control of the solar surface and the Earth meteorological configuration. They need to control the weather, they need to control the sun, and they're awfully close.
Wow. It's hard to believe, but you never steered us wrong before. I'll tell you, the last 2 times you called or you've been involved and we've interviewed you, you've been right on the money.
I'll be on the money here. I have an extremely reliable and not anonymous to me source that says, watch this. Already, you've watched in the last, since before I called you, the hurricane has dropped 2 levels of severity. But what it's going to do next is completely unexpected.
Okay, well, we'll be watching and we'll be paying attention. Sam?
Yes?
Thank you for calling the program tonight.
Well, thank you very much. Go forth and do what you do. I enjoy your show immensely.
Thank you, Sam.
Bye.
Okay, that was an interview with somebody named Sam by Clyde Lewis of Ground Zero on his podcast. And he, the Sam character, apparently claims that he works for DARPA. The voices you heard was distorted, and he thinks that Chinese might have hacked into the Sunspot Solar Observatory, and that may have something to do with the attempts to control climate and weather on Earth. In absence of any solid information, this is one of the explanations. The next clip I'm going to play you is from WSO, and this one shows that Sunspot Solar Observatory may have caught a UFO, may have seen a UFO. So, fair use, and let's play this one. This is again WSO.
So I hope you're having a good September 11th, 2018. Always an ominous number in American history if you're from the United States. So by now, many of you have probably realized that the Solar Observatory in New Mexico was shut down and FBI agents called in. And I have a feeling that it might have something to do with what we caught on the SDO satellite today. So what we all know already is that we've been seeing, well, many of us already know that we've been seeing on the SDO footage a orb come down and then another one come up. Well, what I did that really is disturbing, quite frankly, is I compared the size of the two orbs. Orb A is the larger one and orb B is the smaller one. We had two different orbs that went by the sun, you guys. That's why they closed the SDO observatory, or the Solar Observatory down, because we're going to start seeing this more and more. We just had two different things eclipse the sun. Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News.
All right, so that Mary Greeley would be the next one I'm going to play for you. The interesting theory, that is another very interesting theory, that the observatory, while observing this solar eclipse, saw a foreign UFO. Mary Greeley had a interesting take on this, and fair use. Let's play a snippet from her video.
Here we go.
Hi everyone, I'm Mary with Mary Greeley News. I've been doing a lot of digging to try and find out why the National Solar Observatory in New Mexico has been closed. What's the connection to the post office? There's two post offices closed. One near the Solar Observatory and the other one in Cloudcroft, I guess. And there's been a lot of talk about this eclipse, this object that moved across in front of the sun. I found a link to different videos, see that? Showing the sun during this time period when this object moved from the top to the bottom and from the bottom to the top. See if I can see it again. See that? I found a web page with lots of observations of the sun from around the world. And the only one that had this anomaly was the observation in Colorado. Now, the National Solar Observatory there in New Mexico used to be run by the same people, the government, and the government consolidated, sold it to the New Mexico University. So now the government does its observations from Colorado. So there's been a lot of speculation about this object that moves in front of the sun twice. Is it the Death Star? There's all kinds of wild speculation out there. But of all the images, only Colorado has this object moving in front. Maybe it's a disk to block out the sun, and they seem to be observing this sunspot, 2722. Here's another one from Colorado. I believe they had clouds that came across. Another image, and you can see the timestamp. 10/20/57, 10/20/58, 10/20/59, 10/21. Here's the same exact time, but this comes from Chile. 10/21/01, 10/21/02. What I think they're doing is blocking us out to view different areas of the sun. This here is a current image of the sun-facing disk. This is the location of 2722 sunspot. I found a paper dated today from NASA. This is the expected solar flares they're thinking could happen within 24 hours. 5 C flares, 1 M flare, and 1 X flare. If it comes from this region, it's Earth-facing. It would be devastating to, the entire planet, depending on the size of the X flare. Several Twitter posts. Here's one. I honestly have no idea. I think it was used to shut down on the observation of the solar flare. Kind of crazy how a solar flare would set us way back and there's no way to prevent it. A EMP solar flare has me more paranoid than Yellowstone or civil unrest. Not a lot of distance would turn off the lights for good. Another Twitter post. Some sort of solar flare, space thing is about to happen. FBI raid and observatory, don't let anyone in. Multiple space observations feeds are down, undergoing maintenance at same time. Of all the different sites, Colorado seems to be the only one that is watching this region of the sunspot. And like I said, it's Earth facing. So if it does have a large solar flare, and they're expecting one within 24 hours, it says here. Yeah, I'm not sure how long it would take for the effects to hit the planet, but it's something to think about. But what the connection is between the two post offices and the solar observation, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. So is this what the cover-up is about? Is there family that works at the post office and also has a relative working at the observation? Is the evacuation of the surrounding homes just a cover story? It's evidently something to do with national security. I don't know.
Okay, so I'm at the Sunspot.
Okay, so that was Mary Greeley's take on what's going on. What is going on? She seems to believe that there is some very significant solar activity. All right. The last clip that I'm going to play you is from 420 TV free domain films. And the man who made them actually went to Sunspot Observatory and climbed over the police do not cross taped and explored the area. It's about a 5-7 minute clip, fair use. I pasted the I put all the links to the full clips, to the full videos on my website, wildnews.us, if you want to check it out. So let's look at this.
Spot Solar Observatory area where people live inside there too, and it's blocked off. As you can see right there, they got police tape. There was a sheriff behind this abandoned car here, so I don't know what's up with that. And there's literally like a ghost town up here. There's no one to talk to. So there's nothing happening here. Like, it is dead quiet. And usually when you're up here, there's people driving around. And there's some people living here. So that's weird. Welcome to the National Observatory at the Sacramento Peak. Visiting hours are daily between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. And you're supposed to drive carefully, but it is blocked off on the outside here. And there is this car parked here, so I guess some people had went in there, and the sheriffs are after them, I believe so. Go up and walk up in here, past the line, and see what's up, because some other people did. So go see what they say. Like I said, it's a ghost town. All of the houses are empty. Not a soul here. And evidently the sheriff's department came, talked to them, and left. So they're not saying anything. In fact, let's go look, see what this note says on this door over here. It says the laundromat is permanently closed, so they ain't gonna be washing clothes here no more. It says do not enter U.S. property of the government. But this is an old sign. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, a drone flying by.
Well, I can't really see it, but I guess he
Film it, Austin.
Yeah, I can't see.
So there is somebody watching. Where'd it go? It's right there.
I can't see it.
I don't think I could see it on this. It's so tiny. But you can see this is the Main lab, no authorized personnel. Authorized personnel only. And there's like no one here anywhere. So these labs are empty. Whatever this was, it looks like they just stopped work over there and they left. To the Sunspot Observatory. As you can see there behind me, the giant obelisk. And let's see here. The door is locked. No one is here. At the scenic point, and you can see behind me hundreds and hundreds of miles across this valley. At least 200 straight in that direction, and that's 270 square miles of white sands. And I live in that little town down there. Everything's shut down. Even the places where people live in here, that people have lived in here with the Forest Service and that lived at the observatory in the little town, they're just not here. And at the antenna over there, the research labs were abandoned. This is some kind of joke, but look what's in the trash bin at the door.
That is
the X-Files.
That is funny. Somebody put an X-Files, looks like a DVD tape on top of the trash cans at the abandoned observatory.
Unrestricted access to buildings that look like they were abandoned in a hurry. So talk about some real X-Files going on. Abandoned facilities here. And in the trash can, there's the X-Files. Unrestricted access. At an abandoned government facility that there's not a soul here. There is a weird smell here, and I'm starting to get concerned about that. It's locked. Nobody's home. As you can see there's still shit laying around in there. Maybe you can't see it. Anyway, there's just crap everywhere. Tables, chairs, computers. Whole place completely abandoned. Let's walk right down here and then we'll get out of here. Good. You have to poo. That's great. There's all these government vehicles here. And the Solar Observatory vehicles. You know, but there's no one here. There's not a soul here. There's no one in the mechanic shop. Over there. Walked by that a minute ago. Nothing. But it looks like a small crowd that's gathered down here at the gate. Let's see what some of these people think about what's going on. What's your name?
Ashley.
Ashley, hi Ashley. And Ashley got to walk up in a different direction than I went.
Residential zone.
And what did you say you saw there?
Oh, I went up right to the curve. About 6 houses on my left, 5 on my right. Every single house is empty. There's not one car in any driveway. They're all empty and the blinds are up just enough to have the windows locked with boards.
Wow.
Every single home has their boards slatted.
So what do you think is going on here?
I don't know. I mean, I truly don't understand why. We were just talking to this gentleman who used to work for the government. He's saying obviously it was an active scene. There would be. I said, okay, well, if it's inactive and they've left, why do they still have the tape up? Why wouldn't they remove that?
Yeah, I have no idea. And supposedly it just closed down on the 6th, and it's hard for me to believe they cleaned it out that fast.
That fast, that's right. And it really looks prepared. I mean, if you go up there, these houses are completely empty. There's nothing in them.
Yeah, that is
you
bizarre.
Can't do that in a day.
No.
You cannot do that in a day. You just can't.
Yeah, we walked up to the observatory and walked around it, and just this empty ghost town.
Into the lab.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to him.
The door is open. You can enter pictures inside.
Wow, I missed the door. We checked some doors, but I guess we missed that one. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hey, thanks for talking to us.
I went up pretty far. It got pretty eerie.
Yeah?
I turned around and came back.
Right.
Pretty creepy.
Yeah, we walked around in there, not a sign of anyone.
Not a sign.
Here, let me turn. So I met you coming down when I went up there, and you said you found a couple doors open up there.
Right. It looked like by the label of one of the signs that were kind of off a little ways from the property of these couple of buildings, looked like were called the main lab areas.
Yeah.
And there were some areas right around the side. You can see these loud vents. Air vents or some kind of AC system or something.
Yeah, I went by that building.
Yeah, you guys probably, it's hard to miss, pretty loud. That's the building, and it looked like the side of it that had those vents had some open areas, and back in these, back in the open areas, we had doors, but they weren't locked.
All right, so that was from Freedomist Films. I'm sorry, his proper name is 4220 TV Freedomist Films. Very interesting. He toured the observatory after it was closed. Apparently there was no security there, and he and some other people just went in there and checked it out. It is a mystery exactly what happened to the Sunspot Solar Observatory. I don't have an answer for it. Again, the theories range from the Chinese spying, this is why it was evacuated, to the conspiracy to create a EMP event and blame it on the sun and reduce the Earth's population, and everything in between. I will follow the story. It amazes me. It really is amazes me. If you go to my website, wildnews.us, I have posted links to the videos that we just saw. If you have any information you want to share with me, go on to the contact info on my website, wildnews.us. My phone number is there. My email is there, wildnews@protonmail.com. And if you have something you want to say, I would love to interview you on my live stream. You don't have to disclose your identity if you don't want to, or if you just want to discuss it and bounce off some ideas, I'd be open to that as well. Again, let's go out with a nice X-File music, because it is a mystery. It is an absolute mystery what happened out there, and I'm pretty sure we'll find out at some point. And folks, thank you very much for joining me on this live stream. I appreciate a lot more than I can express in my words. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless you. God bless you, my friends. God bless you.